In Chapter 5, Epic Games made a decision that would change the game forever. They decided that Fortnite would no longer be just a battle royale, and they added 3 new core game modes, which were supposed to be viewed as complete standalone games. Of course, we all know what happened to these modes, but that hasn't stopped Epic from continuing to pump out more and more game modes throughout the following seasons. Today, we're going to be looking at why almost all of these modes failed and how they've created some major problems for the rest of the game. Real quick, we're so close to 1,000 subs and I think we can hit it very soon, so if you guys enjoy these kind of videos or just want to help me out, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed.
Enough talk.
Alright, back to the video. So as you guys know, along with the start of Chapter 5, Fortnite debuted 3 new game modes: LEGO Fortnite, Fortnite Festival, and Rocket Racing. And they were massively successful at first. Riding the wave of the OG season meant that all eyes were on Fortnite for a while, and everyone and their grandma were playing these new modes. But as you can see today, nobody seems to care about them anymore. And I think the main reason for this is pretty obvious, although it doesn't seem like Epic has figured it out yet. All of these modes are just cheap copies of already popular games. There's really nothing setting apart Festival from Rock Band or Guitar Hero, so fans of those games have no reason to migrate to Festival. You could say the same about LEGO Fortnite when you compare it to other sandbox survival games, and Rocket Racing is just a generic racing game with even less features than its competitors. That's not to say that no game can ever compete with the big dogs in those genres, but all of these modes have one thing in common that make them inferior to their competitors. See if you can guess what it is. We'll start with Fortnite Festival. Personally, this is the mode that I dislike the least because I'm a fan of rhythm games and it's so accessible that I'll play every once in a while if I get tilted in BR. Honestly, it's pretty fun. You can play from a set of about 10 rotating songs for free each day, or you can go to the shop and buy whatever songs you want for... Wait, no, that can't be right. Does that say 500? Yeah, these songs are $5 each. Each. So if you wanted to buy 4 songs to play a whole set, it would cost you almost $20. Yeah, if you were confused why this mode wasn't more popular, that's why. If you wanted the option to play any song whenever you want, it would cost you 150,000 V-Bucks, which is literally $1,000 at minimum. What were they thinking? For context, an individual song on Rock Band costs $2, and a bundle of 3 songs in Guitar Hero costs about $6. Not to mention, these games come pre-installed with about 70 songs for free, and have huge discounts when you buy bundles or full albums. All of a sudden, it makes sense why fans of these games haven't moved to Fortnite. Even if Festival was a superior alternative to these games, the prices alone would drive everyone away. And I'm not even going to get into the cosmetics. I think you'll find that over-monetization is a common problem among these modes, especially when we look at LEGO Fortnite. On the surface, LEGO Fortnite looks like a really unique and promising take on the sandbox survival genre, but I'm going to cut to the chase. The building mechanic is just horrible and downright greedy. Building is a core mechanic of these games, but in LEGO Fortnite, unless you want to sit in a beat-up shack all day, you need to go out and buy your builds with real money. In order to build anything substantial in this game, you need to buy presets from the item shop, which can cost up to 2,500 V-Bucks for just one set. For the same price, you could buy this whole LEGO set in real life. But what do you actually get with these Fortnite LEGO sets? Well, you can plop them down in your world and look at them. I mean, these LEGO Fortnite sets are literally just that, a building you can place down in your world that serves no functional purpose. For $20, you're not getting a DLC that adds more content to the game, you're paying for the ability to build one specific castle. It's pretty clear that LEGO Fortnite is supposed to be a direct competitor to Minecraft, but why would you choose to play an extremely limiting paywalled version when you could just play Minecraft? I honestly don't know, which is why it's surprising to me that LEGO still has a higher player count than Save the World. So I guess you can't call LEGO Fortnite a complete failure, although I highly doubt that 99% of LEGO players actually care about the building mechanics or have even purchased a set. So financially, I'm pretty sure Epic's in the hole with this one. And then there's Rocket Racing. There's really not much to say here, it's a pretty generic racing game, but I will say that a pretty major part of any other racing game is customization. And when one of the first cosmetics Epic releases for this mode costs $40, it's pretty clear why Party Royale has more players. Not long after the release of these game modes, Fortnite went on a hot streak of adding even more modes. I think they finally realized that most Fortnite players are here to play a PvP game though, so within only about 6 months, we saw the addition of Reload, OG, and Ballistic. Just looking at the numbers, it's clear that this is what the community wanted, not just buggy ripoffs of other games. But they didn't come without some major issues. Take Reload for example. Reload's great, I have no complaints about this mode. It's refreshing to have another game to play when BR gets stale. But like any other core Fortnite game mode, it needs to have separate lobbies for every combination of builds and zero builds, ranked and unranked, and solos, duos, and squads. And when you consider all the different ranks and levels of skill-based matchmaking, the lobbies are split up even more. And on top of all of that, the players are divided between the 8 different servers. So now you have a separate lobby for every possible rank, build mode, squad size, and server. This was fine at the time because Fortnite had the player count to support it, even with the players split between BR and Reload. But that changed with the introduction of OG, which also effectively had dozens of versions split across multiple ranks. So why is this a problem? Let's say I wanted to play regular ranked zero builds, which only has about 10k players at the time of writing this. Well, I'm on NA East, so I won't be playing against anyone outside America. Then when I select solos, it's going to eliminate the duos and squads players from the total pool, which is going to decrease the number even more, maybe down to 5k or so. But I'm champion in rank right now, so in theory, I'm only going to be playing against elite players or above. Now if we look at the rank distribution this season, we can see that only 1.3% of players are elite or above, which means there's hardly anybody playing in the exact same mode to match up against. Now the stats are slightly off because the people who are consistently playing ranked are going to have an above average rank, so the actual player count is probably closer to 500 or so, but it stands to reason that finding matches is going to take forever, and said matches won't even be full. And that's where the problem comes, because this isn't exclusive to solo ranked zero builds battle royale. There are dozens of modes with low player counts that can take 10 minutes just to find a match. And with every new mode Epic adds, it gets worse because that player count is just being stretched thinner and thinner. That's why you see big creators like Ninja complaining about modes like OG ranked zero builds that don't really need to exist.
I don't know why they would add ranked to OG Season 1 Chapter 1. It was awful. They've stolen 19,000 players out of other playlists.
If OG zero builds and ranked reload were removed, I don't think anyone would quit the game. The player base would just shift to a different game mode. Perhaps the few people playing ranked OG zero builds would decide to play ranked zero builds battle royale instead, giving it a much more balanced player count. But that's not what Epic did. Instead, they added yet another game mode, Ballistic. Do you think Valorant players are leaving their game to come play Fortnite Ballistic? No. Again, it's players who are already on Fortnite who decided to play Ballistic instead of their usual game mode, hence stealing players from those modes. In other words, Fortnite's in competition with itself, and it can't keep up. But the stretched player count isn't the only problem with adding dozens of new modes. Over the past few months, we've seen a steady decline in the overall quality of the game. Stay with me, I'll explain. First of all, there are some places where Epic is obviously cutting corners. The most talked about one is the removal of LTMs. As far as I know, we only got 4 LTMs throughout Chapter 5, and only one was actually new. Back in Chapter 1, we didn't have Reload or Ballistic, but we did have tons of unique modes that would rotate weekly, which, in my opinion, was a lot more fun. But that's just one of the sacrifices Epic made. Think about seasonal events. The summer event in Chapter 4 was laughable, but in Chapter 5, we just got quests. They even tried to cut costs by removing the Winterfest cabin, which was not too well received. And then you have live events, which they have been improving on, but you can see exactly when they realized they're not a priority. The point is, while the new modes are cool, let's not forget what we gave up to have them. Do we really want Lego Brick Life instead of these? Anyway, it's pretty clear that even with the removal of LTMs and events, Epic bit off more than they can chew, and yet they just keep eating. I don't know if there's any company in the world that can maintain this many live service games at once while still trying to push their platform to the next level. Considering how Epic laid off 16% of their workforce just over a year ago and pay out literally hundreds of millions of dollars to low-effort UEFN creators, it makes sense that the quality of the game is declining. If you ask any big Fortnite creator, they'll tell you that the performance and consistency of the game has majorly dropped off in the past year or so. I personally noticed this downgrade in quality starting in Chapter 5 Season 2. I mean, the season itself was delayed by a whole day because of problems, and it was pretty clear why. I was planning on making a dedicated video about the bugs around November, which never ended up happening, but right now I'm showing you just some of the examples I experienced throughout that 1-month season. For context, this is my folder dedicated to bugs I've recorded over about a month. No repeats either. Also, it's not just occasional visual bugs. There were several instances where it was clear that new seasons were being rushed with very little care for making them polished. And in case you thought this was exclusive to Chapter 2 Remix, here are a few more. Now, visual and audio bugs can be annoying, but when they start to cost you entire games, it becomes less of an annoyance and more of a major problem. Like here, the Void Mask stops fall damage, right? Nope, not this time. Oh, so boxes can block sniper bullets. Wrong again. This looks like a safe place to... Dead. 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 Do you get the point? And then there's the obvious desync problems that everyone's talking about. Now, obviously all games are going to have a slight delay with a peeker's advantage, but does this look right to you? If it's enough of an issue to get the biggest Fortnite creator of all time to almost quit the game, then I think you have a problem. Now, it may seem like I'm going on a long tangent here, but stay with me. If Epic started putting more focus on the modes that people actually cared about, instead of pouring millions of dollars into things nobody asked for, the experience would be much better for everyone. For Epic to do this though, it would require changing their entire business model and goals for the future of the game. But as a player, I just want the game to be good, which would require some sort of change to the system. But what do you guys think? Are these new modes actually good for the game, or would we be better off without them? Personally, I think they need to find a balance where they can continue with their goals while also not killing me in the top 6 in ranked for no reason. But anyway, that's it for this video. Smash the like, smash subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.